So let me start the discussion. So friends, in last session we have covered integer data type, right? Already covered. So the integer data type can be represented in the form of decimal number system, that is a by default, then in the form of binary form, then octal form and hexadecimal form. So in a binary form, friends, in a binary form, you can see that two digits are there. That's why it is a base 2, right? Similarly, in octal form, there are a total 8 digit available. That's why the base is 8. 0 to 7, if you can count, you will get a total 8 numbers. Okay. So that's why the base is 8. And in hexadecimal, total there are the 16 digits, friends. Total there are the 16 digits, 0 to 9 and A to F, right? If you sum up all the digits, total is a 16. That's why base is a 16, friends, right? So ultimately, the representation we already discussed. So final, if you try to print, the result is in the form of, friends, if you try to print, the result is definitely in the form of decimal number system, right, friends? So the result is in the form of decimal number system. Okay. So that is about the binary number system and its presentation, right? Then next topic is base conversion function, friends. The next topic is a base conversion functions. It is also the part of the integer type, right? It is also the part of integer data type, friends, right? So let me discuss one by one so that it will very clear, right? So first one is, friends, the first one is a binary, right? First one is a bin. Okay, let me discuss. First one is bin. So this is a base conversion function. Now, what is the use of this? I will discuss, right? No, don't worry. So another one is a OCT. That stands for octal. Third one is, friends, hex. Third one is a hex. Okay. So what is the purpose of this first function? That is a bin function. So the purpose is, friend, very clear, to get a binary number, friends, to get a binary value from any type or any basis. Okay. To get binary value from any base. Any base. Now, what exactly any base means, friends? Any base means, if you are the decimal number, so it will give you the result in the form of decimal number. If you are the octal number, so it will give you the result in the form of octal number. If you are the hexadecimal number, so it will give you the result is in the form of binary, right? So inside this bracket, you provide the decimal number, the result is binary. If you provide the octal number, the result is again binary. If you provide the hexadecimal number, then also the result is a binary number, right? So that's why it is a base conversion technique, means converting uh, any base into the binary number system, converting any base into the binary number system. So let us have one simple example, friend. Let's have one simple example. So already here I open up command prompt, right? I open up command prompt. Let me type the command py, right? Right, I type the command py. Then let me write bin. It is a function. Let me provide the value, decimal value. Let's say I have provided the 45 this decimal value, friends. 45 is a decimal value. Let me enter. Now let's see, right? The result is what, friends? The result is in the form of binary. Okay. So any base, let me provide any base. Okay. Let me provide octal number. Okay. Friends, everyone knows how to represent the octal number. So you have to write first 0, then we have to write small o or capital O, friends. Small o or capital O. So let me write the small o. Then what is the valid range for the octal number system? It's from 0 to 7. So let me type any octal number. So let me type any octal number, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is a octal number, friends. It is a octal number. Let me enter. So you can see the whatever the octal number you have provided here, the result is in the form of binary number system, friends. Very clear, right? So now let me take any number. Let me take any base. Any base means what, friends? Let me take hexadecimal number. Okay. So I already take the decimal number. Then I take the octal number. Right. Now let me take the hexadecimal number. 0x. 0x x, right? If you if you want to represent hexadecimal number, so you have to provide 0x, friends. 0 is common to every number system, right? 0x, then you have to write the hexadecimal number. Okay, so the valid range is from 0 to 9 and A to F, friends. So let me type FACE, right, friends? It is valid, friends. It is valid. FACE, right? F is also valid. A is valid. C is valid. E is also valid because it's from A to F. Okay, from A to F, FACE. This word this comes, right, friends? And don't there means I have type here capital case, uppercase. So no matter small case, uppercase, mixture, both are allowed, right? Both are allowed, right? So uppercase letter and other letter are smaller case. I can write smaller case also, no problem. So let me enter. Now you can see the result is, friends, in the form of binary number system. What it means, friends? What it means? It means to get binary value from any base. To get the binary value from any base. So decimal, octal, and hexadecimal. These are the value we have to enter inside the binary function, friends. I think it is very clear to everyone, friends. So let me paste all the example which you have covered, right? Let me place this example so that it will be very clear to all, right? So these are the example. So let me focus on the octal number system. What exactly it means, friend? Similarly, like binary, similarly it will convert your result in the form of, right, any basis to the octal number system. Any basis means what? Decimal number, friends. Any basis means what? Let me copy paste this sentence with some changes, right? Any base to get octal value from any base, decimal, binary, and hex. Decimal, binary, and hex. So okay, so let me give some examples so that the story will very much clear to you, right? Some example, let me right. So again, here is my uh, command prompt, friends, right? Here is my command prompt. So let me type the function name is OCT, that is octal. Now I will provide first any decimal number. Let me provide 489. This is my decimal number. Let me enter. It will provide me the result in the form of octal number system. So this is my result. You can see very clearly. You can see zero. Small o is there. Means what? This is the octal number, friend. This is the octal number, right? So octal to means octal number system conversion means any base. Any base. This is a decimal number conversion into the octal one, right? Now let me type any hexadecimal number here, friends. Any binary number or any binary number. Against the story is very simple. 0. Then if you are using the binary number, friends, if you are using the binary number, so I think B is required, small b is required. Then any binary number 101010. So let me check. Yes, first class. The result is in the form of, again, in a octal number, right? So any base, this is the binary number, and the result is in the form of what? Octal number system. Now let me enter any hexadecimal number, right? Any hexadecimal number. So let me write that hexadecimal number here. So 0. Now you are very much aware about this, right? You have to write x. X stands for hexadecimal. So let me write hexadecimal number. It's F E E F, right? Fifth, right? It is a hexadecimal number because valid regime 1 to 0 to 9 and A to F, right? Let me enter. Now you can see the output is a octal number, right? So what it means, friends? What this function octal means? OCT means what? Any base into the octal number system. Any base into the octal number system. What are any bases? Decimal, binary, and hexadecimal, right? Those are the bases. So any bases to the octal number system. So those are the example for that. Very simple example. Now last one is a hex, right? These are the base conversion technique, right? Now I will provide any number, right? Let me copy paste this sentence. Let me copy paste this sentence so that the things will be very clear, right? To get hex value, hex means for hexadecimal value, from any base, which are any base, decimal, binary, and octal, right? Definitely we will provide those values to get the hexadecimal value, right? This value we will provide, we will get the hexadecimal result. So let me have the result from this function. So hex I will type, right? Inside this, let me write first decimal number, right? 6767. This is a decimal number, right? So the result is in the form of hexadecimal number. Let me check, enter. So definitely the result is in the form of, friends, in the form of hexadecimal number. You can see X is there. It is a clear indication that the number is a hexadecimal, and you can see the range. The range is in between, whatever the range is required for hex, the range is same, right? Okay. So let me have the another example. So let me provide any octal number here, right? Or binary number. So let me provide any binary number 0 B. B stands for binary. Either you can use the small b or you can use the capital B, right? So B represent the binary, then 1010, right? Let me enter. So this is again which number? Friend, this is the hexadecimal number, right? So example number 2. Let me provide another number system value or any base value. So let me provide octal number value, right? So how to represent octal number? 0. 0 is common everywhere. Then 0, then small o or capital O you can use, right? Both are optional, small o or capital O. So I have used here small o to avoid the confusion. Okay, suppose I type here capital O, somewhere you will get confusion, right? That's why I used to use, right, small o. Then uh, the valid range for the octal number, the valid range is 0 to 7, right? So 2 3 4 5 6 7, this is the valid range for octal number system. Let me enter, right? First class, you can see the result is in the form of again hexadecimal number system, right? So any base to any base conversion. So these are the examples, friend, very simple examples, right? So these techniques are actually called as a base conversion technique, friends, right? So any base to any base. Suppose your requirement is to convert your number from any base to any base, right? So these three techniques are mostly used, right? These three techniques mostly use any base to any base conversion, right, friends? So very easy, right? So here we have completed the first data type. The name is integer one, right? Integer data type we have covered. Now let me discuss the second data type, friends. Second data type. Which one is a float data type, friends? Very easy. Float data type. The second one is a float data type. We have completed the integer one, right? Now here we will discuss the float data type, friends. So what exactly the float data type? Let me clear the things one by one. Suppose, friends, I want to represent the number with decimal point, right? If I want to represent the number with the decimal point, I must use the, right, like, oh, 1 second, friends. Okay, some emergency work was there, right? Okay, now let me continue. Okay, sorry for that. The float data type means what? I will discuss one by one data type, right? The float data type means, friends, here suppose my requirement is, or suppose I want to represent the number with decimal point, it's very simple, the number with decimal point. Let's say diesel price, right? Or stock price, Infosys stock price, or I can say, right, Sensex, or we can say Bombay Stock Exchange, right? Those values are fractional, right? How we represent those values? Suppose petrol price. How can we represent the petrol price, friends? We can represent it. Let's say 110107. This is a petrol price, right? If I'm not wrong. 0.45, right? Exact price of the petrol, right? So this fractional part makes it a float data type, right? Friends, it is a float data type. Very simple. So it is a float data type. Okay. So Python internally represent the base on provided value. Very simple. Right. Based on internal value, the Python will understand whatever the value you have provided, whether it is of integer type or whether it is of float type. Very simple, right? So let me have the example, very simple example. Let's consider this petrol value. Okay, let me decide the type. Let me decide the type. Okay, f is equals to f is a variable, right? F is equals to 107.45, 107.45. Let me find a type. Okay, so for that we have one function to understand what type, right? What is the type of f? To get those things, I have the function. So type, just type, and I want to find a type of f, right? So enter, just enter. You can see the type is a float. The type is a float, friends. Very simple, right? So type is a float. So yes, correct. I got the result, right? Okay. So friends, one thing I want to clear here, very clear. I want to clear one thing here, right? The thing is, we can't, friend, listen carefully, listen very carefully, right? We cannot represent, friends, we cannot represent float value in binary or in octal or in hexadecimal form. Friends, we cannot represent, we are not able to represent, we are not able to represent float values, float values in, right, in binary or oct or hex form. Friends, listen carefully, it is not possible at all, we can't represent, right? Friends, this thing you have to, this is a note for you, right? This is a note, very important note. Suppose in interview room, interviewer asks you, are you able to represent this float value in the form of this base conversion, this following types? So you just say no, it is not possible, you can't, right? You can't, you are not represent, you are not able to represent, right? That should be your answer, friends, right? Okay, so it is not possible. Suppose I to let me represent, try to represent, let me represent, suppose this is a binary number 0 small b, let me write 0, right? 1 point, right? Let me write 1010, right? This is a binary number, right? Point fraction is there, right? Let me represent. Okay, let me represent. What will happen? Okay, just see on the screen what will happen. Definitely there will be the error, right? You can see there will be the error, invalid syntax, invalid syntax. The error is what is the name of the error? Invalid syntax or syntax error. This is a syntax error, it will give you the syntax error. So it is very clear with the proof. This is my proof, right? It is very clear. It will cause the error. The name of the error is a syntax error. What is the type of error? Invalid syntax, friends. Invalid syntax. So it is not possible. So similarly, it is not applicable for the octal, hex, right? Only, okay, only decimal is okay. Decimal is okay, okay. But these forms are not at all possible, right? So simply we are not able to represent float value in the form of binary, oct and hex, friends. Very clear, right? So, okay. Again, one thing I want to tell you, right, friends? Very simple thing. The thing is, um, suppose basically the float data type is used for scientific applications also, friends, to represent your stock value or to represent the petrol or diesel or commodity related value. You can use the float data type, definitely we have to use, right? So again, some scientific applications where you want to use the float value in scientific applications. Let's say your requirement is right now, your requirement is, let's say, 0.3 uh, into 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 right, it's 0.8 into 10 raised to power minus 3, 10 to the power 10 to the power minus 3, it is your requirement, or 10 to the power 4, it is your requirements, friend, right? So these values are called as the scientific value, right, in the form of exponential. That is my requirement, let's say, right? So this is the 10 to the power 4, that is my requirement, friends. I can say these are the scientific thing. So can I represent? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible, friends. So to represent those kind of things, so I have to write. So this is my value. I want to represent this value in the form of, right, in the form of float value. So how to represent? So 0.3, very simple. 10 to the power 4. So you have to write, in place of 10, you have to write e here, friends. Small e you can use, right? Small e 4, right? Small e4. That is a scientific representation of this value. It is a Python understandable form, friends. It is a Python understandable form. 0.3, e means, friends, 10. E means what? 10. And raised to power 4. This is a 4, friends, right? So let me represent. So what will be the result? Let's see. Okay. It's first class. No error was there, right? So let me type F only, and you can see the result. The result is 3000, right? 3000.0. That is the result, right? That is a decimal number also. Okay. This is the result, your result, friends. Very simple. So you can use the scientific value, or even scientific notation. I can say that even very simple, friends. I think it is very clear to you, right? So 3 points will come into the picture, right? First point is to represent number with decimal point, right? We have to always go for the decimal in the, if you are considering the float number system, decimal. Then second point is, friends, no other data types, means no other bases, means binary, hex, octal, and hex. These bases are not at all considered, right? Uh, Exponential form is also allowed. Third point is exponential form is also allowed. Allowed for what? Scientific application. Scientific applications, friends. So this is about the float data type, friends. So let me discuss another data type. I think it is very clear, very simple, friends, right? No rocket science, very simple to understand. Nothing is there in this float data type, right? So this is about the float data type. Let me discuss the third data type, friends. Third data type, which is not at all present, in C language, in Java language, friends. It is not at all present in those language. Which is, what is the name of that data type? I will say complex. Complex data type. It is one of the mostly important data type for the scientific application. Basically, in electronics engineering or in electrical engineering, it is mostly used in electrical engineering, right? To define the phase, right? We have to, we can represent a phase in the form of complex number, right, friends? So in scientific application, let's say electrical application, or in a electronics application, mostly the complex data type is used. In mechanical also, right, where the complex data type is followed, is mostly used, but which is not absolutely present in C language or in Java language, but it is in Python, friends. Python provide this facility, friends, right? So complex data type. So let me discuss. So everyone know, right, about the complex number, how to represent the complex number. So a plus bj, right? It is a complex number. A is called as real part, b is called as imaginary part. I think everyone is aware about that. A is a real, and b is img, imaginary part, right? These are the two parts, real and imaginary part. What is the value of j, which is uh, sqrt square root of -1. Everyone knows that, very basic things. These are the very basic things, right? Okay. So how to represent a complex data type? Let me represent C, represent a complex. C is equals to uh, 10 plus, let me have one simple example, 10 plus 20j. This is the complex number, friends. 10 plus 20j, complex number. So let me execute, let me copy, and let me provide this to the Python, right? So you can see C is equals to, it is valid. So let me print the value of C. You can see 10 plus 20j. The result is fine, absolutely fine, friends, right? So it is a complex data type. So let me check the type. Let me check the type. Type type of C. Type of C. Right. Let me check the type. Type of C. You can see the type is complex. Right. The type is complex, friends. Very easy. Okay. I think it is very clear to everyone. So how to represent the complex data type, right? Okay, friends, one thing I need to clear. Okay, friends, listen carefully. One thing I need to clear. Let me paste this result and let me discuss the further things. Okay, so that there will be no confusion. Okay, let me clear something, friends, right? Related to the complex data type. So in complex data type, the two parts are there. First one is a real part, second one is a imaginary part, right? Suppose you want to extract the real part, friends. Suppose you want to extract the real part from the provided value, right? How to extract that real part? So very simple. It's very simple, friends. Very simple. So this is your complex number. C is equal to 10 plus 20j. I want to find just a real part from this complex number. So I must use the following. I must use the following variable C followed by dot, C followed by dot, and I want to find out first real number. Okay, so just type real. C dot followed by real, right? Enter. You can see 10 is a value. 10 is definitely, it is a type is a float, but 10 is a value. C dot real. Now my requirement is, friend, listen carefully. I want to find the imaginary part. So for that, just type imag. Imag, that will give you the imaginary part. Okay, C is the complex number. I want its imaginary part. So just type C dot img, right? What img, what is a real, those are the variables, friends, right? So let me type, let me enter 20. This is an imaginary part. Very simple, friends. Very simple. So it is possible. Okay. My suppose my requirement or user requirement is to just find the real part or to get the imaginary part. Simple. Real is a method or img is another method. You can easily get those corresponding values, friends, right? So it is very clear, friends, right? Okay. So let me clear one another thing also. One another thing also, friends. Very important thing. That is very important thing, friends. The thing is, friends, C is equals to some real, right? Plus how the complex number is formed, real part and imaginary part, right? Complex number, how the complex number is formed? Complex number is formed with the means with two number, real plus imaginary. Complex number having the two parts, real part and imaginary part. So friends, this point is very much important. Okay, let me tell you that point, right? Let me tell you. So at a real part, you can represent, you can represent re you can represent real part, friends. Real part with with any base, with any base means what? Decimal, then binary, then octal, then hexadecimal. You can represent the real part with any base, but you cannot represent imaginary part with any base. you must use only, it is only decimal, it is type of, what is the base, it should be decimal. But you cannot, I can repeat this sentence, I can repeat this sentence, and I will show you the example. You cannot represent a real part with any base. Any base means these are the bases, except 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 decimal base. So these bases are not allowed. Let me tell you the examples. Examples are like, suppose this is a complex number. So let me give the example for this, right? Example for this. C is a complex number. C is equals to uh, any binary number. Let's say 0 cross 1010101, right? Plus j or 20j. It is an example, right? So let me show you the output of the same. Okay, you can see. Okay, the output is okay. Let me type C, right? So it is valid. It is valid according to my whatever the point I have put here. According to that, it is very clear, friends. You can see it is the real part. So real part with any base. So I have used binary number, right? Any base it is possible. Let me take another example also. C is equals to 0 cross 0 cross. Let me take the hexadecimal or octal number. Let me take the um, 1 second, binary number, right? Binary number. Uh, Friends, that this example was of this example, you can see real part, it is was hexadecimal. Let me take the binary number example, 1010. So this example, you can see previous example, 1 is valid, 0 is also valid, friends, because 1 the range for hexadecimal number is 0 to 9 and A to F, right? So it is absolutely valid. So that's why result is true. Okay. So let me take the binary number. Now the number is 0B1010 plus 30J. Okay, 30J. So let me take the result. Let me, right? It is also valid. So from that, it is very clear that you can use real part. At a real part, you can use any base, friend, any base, right? Any base. This is the example, friends, right? So you can represent real part with any base, decimal, binary, octal, hex. But in case of imaginary part, you cannot represent imaginary part. Imaginary part with any base, binary, octal, hex. Okay, let me show you the example. So suppose 10 plus let's say, let me take one binary number here, 0b, b stands for binary, 101. This is a binary number, j. Okay, so j. So let me take this example. Now let's see the output. What will happen, right? No. Okay, there is error, syntax error, invalid syntax. This is the syntax error you can see here, right, friends? The syntax error is okay. So you cannot represent imaginary part with any base except decimal. Decimal is okay, but other than decimal, you can't use. Binary is not valued. Let me take another example. Let me take C is equals to, let me take hexadecimal number x. Let me write FAC. Okay, x FAC. It is valid, I think, right? Because the range is A to F, right? So it is valid. So it is a hexadecimal number. Let me, you can see syntax error, invalid syntax. So this is not at all possible. Okay. So from this point, it is very clear. It is very clear that you cannot use any base except decimal in the imaginary part, right? At the imaginary part, it is not possible, friends. So it is very clear, friends, right? So that is about the imaginary number system, friends. Imaginary number system. Okay. So where the imaginary number system is used to develop scientific application, electronics application, for that it is mostly used. But for regular Python programming, it is not. We will not use this number system, because we are learning the basic Python, or we are learning the Python related thing. We are not focusing our session for any scientific application. That's why we will not use this. But just you should aware. That's why I have cleared this point. Okay, you should aware that this data type is also aware, that this data type is also present. That's why I just clear these things, right? But in future we will never use. Okay, so only for understanding point of view, or only for awareness, I just explain this point, friends. Okay, so I think it is very much sufficient. Okay, so about the imaginary data type, there is imaginary data type. Let me tell you the fourth data type, which is one of the most important for us, right? In future we have the it is one of the most important. So the name of this data type is a bool data type, friends. Bool data type. So we have covered integer, float, then we have covered third one is our um, imaginary or real, we can say that complex data type, right? So three data type we already covered. Now fourth one is a bool type data type, bool data type, right? Let me discuss this bool data type. Bool data type, okay, let me discuss. So where it is used, okay. Mm, uh, we can use, friends, this data type logical to represent the logical values. Okay, mostly use boolean is used to represent the logical things or logical values. Okay, so what are the logical values, friends? True, true, then false. Okay, true and false, these are two logical values. To represent this logical value, bool data type is preferred. Okay, so let me let's have some examples. So let me go to the console again and let me type. Let's say a is equals to, or x is equals to true. X is equals to true. Okay, it is of type is boolean. Let me find the type. So command is type. This is a function. I want to find the type of x. Okay, x is true is assigned to x. So what is the type of x? You can see the type is of x is a boolean. The type of x is what? Boolean is a type. So just enter here. The type is boolean, friends, right? Okay. So let me tell. Let me go inside of the bool data type. I can say, friends, uh, this bool data type. Listen carefully, friends. This bool type data type uh, internally represented by Python. Friends, listen carefully. This bool data type internally represented by Python as true for true. Friends, for true, the Python will understand this is a 1 internally for Python. False, for false, internally Python represent this false as 0, friends. True as 1, false as 0. Okay, let me show you example. How? You will ask, sir, how? Okay, definitely I will give the with the proof. True, let me write true, x is equals to, let's say, let me take another variable. Y is equals to true plus true. Okay, so let me enter. Let me show you the value of y, right? 2. 1 plus 1, true internally treated as 1, another true internally treated as 1. So 1 plus 1 what? Definitely Python you will give the result as a 2. Okay, let me take another example. True plus 13. Definitely what should be the result? The result should be 14. Okay, definitely it will be the 14. Okay, yes, it is 14, because internally Python consider the true value as a 1. Okay, let me show you for the false. True plus false, true plus false plus Okay, plus let me take 3, right? Let me take 3. What could be the result? True internally represent as 1, then false as 0. So 1 plus 0, 1 plus 3, the result will be 4, right? So let me show you the result. So it is from this example, it is very clear that the Python internally consider true as 1, false as 0, friends. That thing you should understand, friends. That thing, keep in mind that thing, right? So Python internally consider as true as 1 and false as 0, friends. Okay, very clear, right? Okay. Again, one thing, there is one observation you can see. The word, the first letter of this true or false word, you can see the T is capital, F is also capital. But if you consider, if you compare with another languages like C language or Java, you can see these all the letters are in small lowercase, but first letter is in uppercase for the Python, friends. For the true and false, the first one, the first letter is in uppercase. But in case if you consider with another language like C or like Java, all the letters are lowercase, but except Python, the letters are in a first letter is in uppercase. That thing you should remember. Okay, friends, that thing you should remember. Okay, so I think it is very clear to all, right? It is very clear. So this is about the bool data type, friends. Okay, I think it is very clear. Okay, so I think it is clear.